We have here something that can be very helpful on a journey. We have here simply a GPS, okay? And a lot of us are familiar with the GPS. And that's just a little device that we put in where we want to go on it, right? And it'll give us the best route, the easiest route, one without any tolls, or whatever we want. Whatever kind of route we'd like to take. But this tells us how to get there, right? Well, in our gospel tonight, we hear the familiar story about some people who started off on a journey. And they did what they had to do to find the newborn king. And they may not have taken the easiest, right? May not have taken the shortest, but they kept going until they found what they were looking for. And the story is familiar to us, right? The wise men, people that left wherever they lived, and set off on that journey, right? And they did not stop. Now, they may not have taken the shortest or the easiest, but they kept on going. And that's what's really important. It's also a story that reminds us of another journey 2,000 years later. And it's a journey, our journey to get closer to God and be all that God calls us to be. Really reminds us of our own journey. Now, the interesting part about our friends, the Magi there, the wise men, is that, well, what we don't know about them. Well, we don't know, first of all, we don't know exactly where they came from. It could be what is now Saudi Arabia, could be what is now Iran. Now, they may not have taken the easiest route or the shortest, but they kept on going. And that's what's important. Now, it all comes back to the journey of all of us. The journey of all people trying to find God in their lives, to be closer to God, what God asks us to be. And they didn't stop until they found the Lord. And that's a lesson. We're all on a journey in this life to grow closer to God. Be what God calls us to be. And we look at our own journey in life, and again, our journey we may not have taken the easiest route. May not have taken the shortest route to get to God, to grow closer to God. And sometimes along the way, well, we might have stopped on that journey, stopped looking for Christ, only to begin again later on in our lives. The important thing, again, is to keep going. wherever our journey took us, wherever that journey takes us, and no matter what's going on, yes, we do make mistakes along the way, and sometimes we give up, and sometimes we wind up in places that we really shouldn't be. And we get into relationships that take us away from our journey, make us stop on that journey. Maybe an example will help. Over at the Justice Center, the jail just a block and a half away here from us tonight, I was talking to a man who was charged with a very serious crime. And he has given the deputies over there some very, very difficult times. So he had to be put in isolation, away from everybody else. No contact. They just come, bring him the food, put it there, that's it. Well, after a while, he was able to be put back into a regular cell. And he can't leave it except for an hour a day, but he's around people. And they said, that's a big difference. I appreciate that, being able to see people. And he even had some kind words for the deputies. He said, they're bad. They come by my cell and they say hello to me. And they ask me how I'm doing. I appreciate that. So maybe this man, this troubled man, has taken his first steps of returning to God. Granted, it's a small step, but he took it. And that's what God is asking each one of us. Now, we have the year before us, okay? Still the beginning of the year. And all of us need to ask ourselves, now, wait a minute. How am I doing on this journey? How am I doing? What do I have to start doing? What do I have to resolve to start doing so I can grow closer to God? And secondly, we all have to ask it, what do I have to stop doing? What do I have to start doing? What do I have to stop doing? And the important lesson, the important thing, is that we can't put off doing this. We can't put this off. It has to be done now. So as we continue now and prepare to share in the body and the blood of Christ, let's ask our God for the help and the strength we need to take an honest look at ourselves, what we need to do and what we need to stop doing, and then ask God's help to keep us going.